Tyler Robinson. The man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk has appeared in court in person for the first time. The 22-year-old, wearing civilian clothing, a shirt and tie but shackled underneath, was in a Utah court for a pre-trial hearing regarding recordings from October 14. Also, the judge is now deciding, and it is a closed court right now, judges deciding what the media will be able to see, hear and report.
At the centre of this case is Tyler Robinson, a name now appearing in court records, headlines, and online discussions. According to publicly available filings, Robinson is facing alleged criminal charges within the jurisdiction of jurisdiction, state, where prosecutors have formally brought the matter before the court. Before we begin, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and let me know your thoughts as this story unfolds. Because you're about to hear one of the most shocking scandal cases I've ever covered. It's critical to be clear and responsible here. These are allegations, not convictions. Tyler Robinson is presumed innocent unless and until a court of law proves otherwise. The charges outlined by the prosecution represent claims that must be tested through evidence, testimony, and due process. So why does this court appearance matter so much? Because it marks a pivotal moment in the case. This is where the judge formally addresses the charges, the defense responds, and the legal path forward is set, whether that means bail decisions, motions to dismiss, evidence disclosures, or a trial timeline. What happens in this room can significantly shape the outcome of everything that follows. For the prosecution, it's an opportunity to establish the seriousness of the allegations. For the defense, it's the first major chance to challenge the narrative. And for the public, it's the moment speculation gives way, at least in part, to the legal process. From here on, every move matters. This court appearance is not just a routine date on the calendar, it is a turning point. This is the moment where allegations officially enter the legal record, where a judge begins to shape the direction of the case, and where both sides reveal their initial strategies. Decisions made here can determine whether the defendant remains free, whether evidence will be challenged, and how aggressively prosecutors intend to move forward. For the prosecution, this appearance is about establishing credibility, showing the court that the allegations are serious enough to proceed. For the defense, it is the first opportunity to push back, to question the strength of the case, and to protect their clients' rights. It also matters because this is where public speculation meets legal reality. Online theories, social media narratives, and public opinion all take a back seat to procedure, evidence, and the rule of law. From this point on, the case stops being just a story and starts becoming a legal battle with real consequences. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere is tense and tightly controlled. This is where emotion gives way to procedure, and every word spoken carries legal weight. The judge takes the bench, signaling that this is no longer a matter of rumor or speculation. It is now a matter of record. Attorneys on both sides stand ready, documents prepared, arguments carefully measured. The defendant is present, often silent, as their future begins to unfold in real time. This is where the charges are formally addressed, where the defense may enter a plea, and where the court outlines what happens next. Bail conditions may be discussed. Timelines may be set. Motions may be hinted at. Every detail matters, because even small decisions made here can ripple through the entire case. Observers in the gallery watch closely, family members, media, and members of the public, each interpreting body language, expressions, and tone. But inside this room, Perception means nothing without proof. What happens inside the courtroom doesn't always provide answers. Sometimes it raises even more questions. But one thing is certain: once the doors close and proceedings begin, the case officially moves from speculation into the hands of the justice system. Courtrooms in high-profile cases operate under strict security and confidentiality measures, and this case is no exception. From the moment Tyler Robinson entered the courthouse, security personnel monitored every movement. Bags are checked, phones are restricted, and access is tightly controlled. This isn't just protocol, it's a measure to protect everyone involved: the defendant, the witnesses, the attorneys, and the integrity of the case itself. Secrecy also plays a critical role. Sensitive documents, evidence submissions, and private testimonies are shielded from the public until officially entered into the record. Cameras and recording devices are limited, meaning much of what happens inside remains unseen by the outside world. Journalists and spectators rely on official statements or briefings to understand what unfolds. This controlled environment ensures that speculation doesn't influence proceedings. Every decision, every exchange, and every motion is carefully documented and preserved, maintaining the fairness and security that the legal system demands. In cases like this, the tension between public curiosity and courtroom confidentiality is palpable, but it's necessary. What remains behind these doors will shape the trajectory of the case for weeks, months, or even years to come. High-profile cases often exist into parallel worlds: the courtroom and the media. And sometimes, the two are at odds. Inside the courtroom, every word, every piece of evidence, and every procedural decision is governed by strict rules. Accuracy, fairness, and legal standards guide the process. But outside, the media operates on speed, narrative, and audience engagement. Headlines are written, clips are shared, and social media buzz spreads often before the facts are fully verified. This clash can create tension. Journalists report on what they see and hear, sometimes interpreting gestures, expressions, or statements without context. Rumors can ignite, speculation spreads, and public opinion forms long before the legal system has weighed the evidence. For the court, this is a constant challenge. Judges may issue gag orders or limit what can be publicly discussed to protect the integrity of the trial. Attorneys must navigate not only legal strategy, but also the court of public opinion. For the public, it can be difficult to separate verified information from sensationalized reporting. Ultimately, the media can inform, but it can also mislead. In high-stakes cases like this, understanding the difference between courtroom reality and media narrative is crucial. In every high-profile case, rumors circulate about what might be hidden from the public. And in this case, speculation has been relentless. Some claim that certain documents, communications, or pieces of evidence were intentionally kept from public view. Others suggest that procedural details, financial records, or sensitive testimony were shielded to protect key individuals or the integrity of the investigation. While the term "tried to hide" sounds dramatic, it's important to remember that much of this secrecy is standard legal practice. Courts routinely restrict access to evidence that could compromise safety, privacy, or fairness. Confidential filings, witness statements, and pre-trial motions are often sealed until the judge allows disclosure. What may appear as concealment to the public is frequently a protective measure to prevent tampering, ensure unbiased testimony, and maintain procedural integrity. Yet, in high-profile cases, secrecy fuels suspicion. Every document withheld or motion filed behind closed doors becomes fodder for speculation, creating a narrative of mystery that may or may not reflect the truth. For investigators, journalists, and the public alike. The challenge is separating legitimate legal privacy from sensationalized claims of cover-up. In the end, what the court keeps private isn't necessarily what someone tried to hide, it's what the law requires. To ensure a fair and just process. Fully understand this case, it's important to step back and consider both the legal and historical context that surrounds it. Legally, every court appearance, motion, and procedural decision exists within a framework designed to balance fairness, transparency, and the rights of all parties involved. The charges, the timeline, and the investigative methods must adhere to established law, precedent, and courtroom protocol. Understanding these rules helps explain why certain actions are taken, why some information remains confidential, and why the process can seem slow or opaque to the public. Historically, high-profile cases have often drawn intense media attention and public scrutiny, sometimes even influencing the proceedings themselves. From past celebrity trials to politically charged investigations, courts have had to navigate the delicate balance between maintaining justice and managing public interest. Missteps or perceived biases can amplify speculation, fueling rumors that spread far beyond the courtroom walls. In this case, the intersection of legal procedure and public fascination is particularly pronounced. The combination of complex allegations, sensitive evidence, and high-profile individuals mirrors challenges seen in past cases where transparency, secrecy, and media coverage collide. By understanding this broader legal and historical perspective, we can better interpret the events unfolding today, distinguishing fact from rumor, procedure from perception, and speculation from evidence. The story is as much about the law as it is about the people it touches, and history shows us that both elements are inseparable in shaping public understanding. As the case progresses, the next steps will determine much of its trajectory and public perception. Court appearances, motions, and hearings will continue to shape the legal path, while investigators work to collect evidence and build their case. Each decision in the courtroom, from setting trial dates to ruling on motions, carries consequences that can impact the outcome months or even years down the line. For the defendant, this is a period of uncertainty and preparation. For the prosecution, it is an opportunity to clarify allegations, strengthen evidence, and outline strategy. And for the public, this is a moment to separate verified developments from speculation. Understanding that not every headline or social media post reflects reality. Moving forward, transparency and patience are key. Legal systems are designed to be deliberate, and rushing to conclusions can obscure the truth rather than illuminate it. What happens next will reveal much about the strength of the case, the credibility of the evidence, and the fairness of the process itself. Ultimately, the story is still unfolding. Every hearing, every document, and every testimony adds a piece to the puzzle, but the full picture will only emerge over time. Looking at the case as a whole, several key points emerge. First, the legal process is moving carefully, with each step court appearances, motions, and evidence filings designed to ensure fairness and uphold the rule of law. While public speculation and social media narratives may suggest otherwise, the facts that have been verified remain grounded in official documents and statements. Second, high-profile cases like this often highlight the tension between transparency and privacy. Courts must protect sensitive information, while the public and media naturally seek answers. Understanding this balance is essential to interpreting events accurately and responsibly. Third, the human element cannot be ignored. The individuals involved, defendant, families, attorneys, and witnesses are navigating immense pressure, scrutiny, and emotion. How they respond, both publicly and privately, can shape perception, even if it doesn't alter the facts of the case. Finally, moving forward, patience and discernment are critical. True crime isn't just about shocking headlines, it's about examining verified evidence, understanding procedural context, and separating rumor from reality. For viewers, the takeaway is clear. Watch closely, follow the updates, and remember that in the courtroom, facts, not speculation, ultimately determine the outcome. This concludes our analysis, but the story continues to unfold, and every new development will add another layer to this complex case. I'm Detective B. If you're fascinated by real life, mysteries, and criminal investigations, tap like, subscribe, and share your opinion in the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from and what you think about today's case. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, in true crime, the line between fact and perception is often thinner than we realize.